A white silence stretches as far as the eye can see. The sun hangs low over the frozen ridges of the Ural Mountains, casting a pale orange glow on an endless sea of snow. The wind howls across the tundra, carrying whispers of forgotten stories, stories of people who have called this frozen wilderness their home for centuries. In the midst of this vast, unending winter, a caravan of reindeer sleds moves slowly across the horizon. Fairies flutter in the biting wind, dogs bark against the silence, and wooden sleds creak under the weight of life's bare essentials: food, tints, firewood, and dreams of survival. These are the nomads of the north, the ancient keepers of the tundra, the nences, Hante, and mansi tribes, whose existence is bound to the rhythm of nature and the mercy of winter. Part 1: The people of the reindeer. When winter arrives in the Ural Mountains and the Yamal Peninsula, it does not knock, it storms in, freezing rivers, blinding the ice with snowstorms, and burying the earth in silence. Temperatures fall to -50 градусов Celsius, and when bread turns to ice before it can leave the mouth. For the nenites, this is not a season to fear, it is a way of life. Their lives are tied to the reindeer, creatures that are both companions and lifelines. The reindeer provide everything: food, clothing, shelter, and transportation. Each family OWNS herds of several hundred animals, carefully protected and guided across hundreds of kilometers of tundra every year. A nenites herder, wrapped in thick reindeer hide, grips a wooden staff as he calls his animals by name. His face is darkened by frost, his eyes sharp from years of scanning white horizons. Behind him, his wife and children dismantle their chum, a conical tent made from reindeer skins stretched over wooden poles. Within an hour, their entire home is packed onto sleds, ready to move toward new pastures. They migrate like the wind, 800 to 1000 kilometers each year, chasing the grazing lands that keep their reindeer alive. Part 2: The eternal migration. Life in the tundra is a constant migration. The snow never ends, but neither does the journey. The reindeer migration begins as early as November, when the frozen rivers become solid enough to cross. The herd moves through narrow mountain passes, over frozen lakes, and across blizzards that erase the world in seconds. There are no roads, no GPS, no electricity, only memory and instinct. Each route has been passed down through generations, remembered not through maps but through songs, stories, and stars. At night, the tundra glows beneath the northern lights. Green and purple waves ripple across the sky, illuminating the nomads' camp. Inside the chum, the fire crackles. The family gathers around it, drinking hot tea brewed from melted snow, and eating boiled reindeer meat. The children listen to tales of the forest spirits, of how the land was created by the steeds of a giant reindeer who gave birth to the world. Outside, the temperature plummets. Dogs carol around themselves, their blood steaming. The wind screams across the tundra like a ghost, but inside, life remains warm, protected by tradition, fate, and the fire of resilience. Part 3: Winter's Trial. In the heart of January, the tundra becomes a trial of survival. The blizzards can last for days, cutting visibility to zero. Reindeer huddle together, forming living walls against the storm. The nomads cannot move, cannot hunt, cannot even see beyond a few meters. Frostbite is common, firewood runs low, food must be rationed carefully. The women sew mallet thick fur coats, by the dim light of an oil lamp. The men check the sleds, repair broken bindings, and count the herd. Every day is a test, every mistake called Mendes. Yet there is no despair here, there is endurance. An elder named Yakov, his face carved by the cold and years of travel, says softly: "Больше чем, winter is not our enemy. It is our teacher. It reminds us who we are. And so, they wait, not for comfort, but for the right wind to guide them forward." Part 4: The echoes of the mountains. Far to the east, the Ural Mountains rise like ancient guardians of the frozen frontier. Among the slopes, life follows a different rhythm. Here dwell the mansi and Hanty people, hunters, trappers, and fishermen whose lives depend on the forest rather than the tundra. Time of through the taiga, where birch and large trees whisper under layers of frost. Snares are set for hares, and fishing holes are cut through the ice. Wooden cabins smoke faintly in the cold dawn. A mansi hunter walks silently through the snow, his rifle slung over his back, snowshoes tied to his boots. He reads the forest like a book, the broken twigs, the papyrus, the silence between gusts of wind. He pauses, looks up, and sees the Ural sunrise, pale pink light spilling across the frost. He bows his head briefly, murmuring a prayer to the spirit of the mountains, thanking it for the hunt to come. For him, survival is not a conquest, it is a relationship with nature, built on humility and respect. Part 5, The Modern Shadow. The modern world is slowly reaching even here. Gas pipelines, oil rigs, and snowmobiles cut across ancient trails. Children are sent to schools far from the tundra, learning Russian instead of the songs of their ancestors. But many nomads resist losing their identity. Every winter, they return, guiding their herds across lands their forefathers walked, refusing to let machines replace memory. A young Ninet's boy named Mikola looks into the camera, his cheeks red with frost, his eyes bright. Больше чем, people in the cities think we are lost, he says. But out here, we are free. His father nods beside him, adjusting his fur hat. The snow sparkles in the weak sunlight as the reindeer bells begin to ring. The migration continues. Part 6, The Soul of the Tundra. As the camera pans out, the landscape opens wide, a breathtaking canvas of white plains and frozen rivers stretching to infinity. The narration softens. Больше чем, in the north, life does not move fast. It flows with the seasons, with the ice and wind, with the heartbeat of the reindeer. Here, in the silence of the tundra and the shadow of the Urals, humanity still lives in its purest form, close to nature, close to spirit, and endlessly enduring. The reindeer herd moves onward, leaving a trail of prints in the snow that will vanish with the next storm. The firelight flickers, 10 fades. The wind rises once more, singing its eternal song across the frozen world. Closing narration. Больше чем, to survive here is to understand balance. The tundra gives, and it takes. The mountains protect, and they test. But those who live here, the nomads of the north, have found something the rest of the world has forgotten, peace in simplicity, strength in silence, and a deep, unbreakable bond with the land. As the final shot fades, the northern lights blaze across the sky, a farewell from the spirits of the north to those who dared to listen.